Hello everyone, welcome to ITLS Academy. Our lecture is stool culture and this time we are going to study stool culture of Vibrio species. As we know that Vibrio cholerae is the causative agent of cholera. So, we are going to discuss stool culture for Vibrio. First of all, we will see aim of the test. First point is isolate Vibrio cholerae from stool specimen and perform antibiotic sensitivity testing. A thorough patient history covering symptoms, severity, and duration of illness, age, travel history, food consumption, history of recent antibiotic use, and illness in the family or other contacts will help the physician determine the appropriate testing to be performed. Next point is Vibrio cholerae, the causative agent of endemic, epidemic, and pandemic cholera, results in large volumes of rice water stools due to the production of an enterotoxin. Severe dehydration is of concern in patients without access to adequate medical care. Vibrio is the most common cause of Vibrio disease, is associated with the consumption of raw shellfish or fish and results in gastroenteritis with nausea, vomiting, abdominal cramps, low grade fever, and chills. Usually, rehydration is the only treatment required, although in some cases, antimicrobial therapy is needed. Some points about Vibrio cholerae. Antigenic structure of Vibrio cholerae contains it is common heat labile flagellar hydrogen antigen or H antigen. O lipopolysaccharide confers serologic specificity. Serologic specificity is provided by lipopolysaccharide and we know that N and O type of lipopolysaccharides are present and O lipopolysaccharide is responsible for its specificity. In O lipopolysaccharides, more than 150 O antigen serogroups are present. Only O1 and 0139 serogroups cause Asiatic cholera. Three serotypes Ogawa, Inawa, Hikojima. These are three common serotypes of Vibrio cholerae. 2 Viobos classic and EL tor. Some cultural characteristics of Vibrio cholerae are given over here. Let's see them one by one. First point is Vibrio cholerae is a facultative anaerobic organism. Facultative anaerobic means these are mainly anaerobic, but these can also survive aerobically. As we know, there are two types of organism like facultative and obligatory. Facultative are organisms that can show dual features like if they are aerobic, but they can also behave like anaerobic organisms. But in the case of obligatory, they are determined to any particular fate. They does not change their fate. Like if they are anaerobic, then we will remain anaerobic forever. They will not change their fate in any condition. So this is obligatory and facultative, that the fate is not determined. And Vibrio cholerae is facultative anaerobic. We can take a conclusion from this line, like if they are facultative anaerobic, this means they can also survive like aerobic organism. Next point is it grows within a temperature range of 16 to 40 degrees centigrade. Although optimum temperature for them is 37 degrees centigrade. Third point is growth is better in an alkaline medium. Alkaline means basic medium. It means it contains a hydroxyl group containing medium. The range of pH being 6.4 to 9.6, although optimum pH range is 8.2. And as we know, there is no unit for pH. Last but not least point is it grows well on ordinary media. It does not require specifically any specified media. Types of specimen. Specimen must be fresh random stool, rectal swab if stool is unavailable. The preferred type of specimen is fresh and random stool. Rectal swab only be taken if stool is unavailable. Criteria of specimen rejection. It includes specimens received in grossly leaking transport containers. If transport containers are leaky, then there are higher chances of rejection of a specimen. Diapers, dry specimens, specimens submitted in fixative or additives. Specimens received in expired transport media or incorrect transport device. Inappropriate specimen transport conditions like not in C&S vial or in an overfilled C&S vial. Specimens received after prolonged delay in transport, and this delay is usually more than 72 hours. Specimens stored or transported frozen, wooden shaft swab in transport device, unlabeled specimen or name discrepancy between the specimen label and the request. Pathogens and commensals. Pathogens and commensals are like stool culture or routine culture. The pathogens and commensals we have studied in our routine stool culture, that is our first lecture of stool culture test. We have already discussed pathogens and commensals in our previous lecture, that is one lecture before the first test of stool culture. So it is not good to discuss them again and again. So you can prefer this that particular lecture, and you can see pathogens and their commensal floras. Diagnosis of Vibrio. First is stool culture is toxigenic Vibrio cholerae O1. Use carry player transport media if available. Although Vibrio cholerae does not require any specified media, but carry Blair media can be used for transport. Viable for many days at room temperature. Use TCBS media for culture. Use Vibrio cholerae serogroup O1 antisera. Confirm presence of cholera toxin. Cholera rapid test dipsticks. A stool sample is typically collected using a piece of wax paper spread across your toilet bowl. It should be held in place by your toilet seat. Once you have collected a sample of your stool on the wax paper, place it in the container provided and give it to your doctor. Pre-specimen processing. Patient preparing. Patient preparing includes instruct the patient on how the specimen should be collected and transferred to the containers. Provide him or her with sticks and containers. Specimen collection. The first point in specimen collection is the stool should be collected in sterile bedpan. A sample is transferred with the stick to the container. The specimen should contain at least 5 grams of feces and, if present, those parts that contain blood and or mucus should be selected. The specimen should not be contaminated with urine. After collecting the specimen, close the lid of container. Next point in specimen collection is rectal swab. Pass swab beyond anal sphincter. Carefully rotate and withdraw. Swabbing of lesions of a rectal wall or sigmoid colon during proctoscopy or sigmoidoscopy is preferred. Next point in specimen collection is duodenal or sigmoid aspirate. Specimen should be collected by a physician trained in this procedure. Who will collect the specimen? The answer is the patient. Patient is the person who will collect this specimen. Although if stool is unobtainable, nursing staff or physician will collect fecal swab. But this is a condition in which stool is unavailable. Quantity of specimen. The specimen should contain at least 5 grams of feces. Time relapse before processing the sample. Stool samples should be examined and cultured as soon as possible after collection. Storage. Maintain specimen at room temperature until shipment is done. Here, do not refrigerate or Do not freeze the specimen. Specimen processing. The media is alkaline peptone water TCBS. TCBS, that is thiosulfate, citrate, bile salt, sucrose agar. In short, TCBS. Culturing procedure. The first point in culturing procedure is a loop full of stool is streaked onto the surface of a TCBS plate, that is thiosulfate, citrate, bile salt, sucrose agar plate, and about 1 gram is inoculated into a tube. This tube will contain alkaline peptone water, and this tube is finally incubated at 37 degrees centigrade. Next point is incubate at 37 degrees centigrade for 24 hours. This is the minimum time for inoculation or for incubation. After 6 to 8 hours, make a subculture from the alkaline peptone water onto the surface of a new plate of TCBS, that is thiosulfate, citrate, bile salt, sucrose agar. Here the process of culture is given. First of all, the physician will take stool, or lab technician that is going to detect stool will take stool. After that, he will transfer it into TCBS, and after transfer into TCBS, incubation for 20 hours at 37 degrees centigrade will done. If this process is not followed, there will be a next procedure, that is alkaline peptone water. After transfer into alkaline peptone water, there will be a incubation for 6 to 8 hours at 37 degrees centigrade. After incubation, this particular alkaline peptone water will be subcultured onto TCBS media. After subculture, there will be another incubation for 24 hours and the temperature will be same, that is 37 degrees centigrade. This is all about culturing procedure. Post specimen processing. Interfering factors. First interfering factor is patient on antibiotic therapy. Next interfering factor is improper Sample collection. Result reporting. A positive report will be issued only in case Vibrio cholerae were isolated. Otherwise, a negative report will be issued. Turnaround time. Negative results are sent out 72 hours after receipt of the specimen. Results of positive cultures can be expected in 4 to 5 days. So thank you very much guys for watching this session. Here our stool culture is completed. We had started from the routine stool culture, that is, it was for Salmonella and Shigella. Our next stool culture video was on E. coli culture, and our this particular last video is on Vibrio cholerae culture. This was the enough topic for the stool culture technique, and we have covered all the topic in these 3 lectures. If you haven't watched previous lectures, you please go through them at least once. Thank you very much for watching. Follow ITLS Academy on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, WhatsApp and LinkedIn. For latest updates and videos from ITLS Academy, you can subscribe ITLS Academy on YouTube. You can also get it on Google Play Store. The app is available on Google Play Store, and by installing the app, you can easily access all the informations and latest updates of ITLS Academy very easily. Thank you very much for watching. Like, share and subscribe ITLS Academy. And guys, for any help or query, you can call us our helpline number, that is 7080833450. You can also reach us on www.itlsacademy.com. Thank you very much again for watching this session.